Breaking news, everyone. Welcome to CBSE Champions. I hope you're doing a great job, enjoying your life, and I'm here to inform you what is happening around, and it's important for you to get to know about the latest updates, and it's important to keep yourself up to date. So without any further ado, let's get started and talk about what CBSE has done today, and that is CBSE has released a new syllabus, folks, for classes 10 and 12, and it's important for you to understand the fresh courses which have come up in the syllabus. So without any further ado, let me explain and talk about it. Well, the CBSE has announced its updated syllabus, okay, folks, for classes 10 and 12. For the academic year 2025 and 2026, and we'll talk about some of the changes in the exam schedule, the grading system, as well as some passing criteria and so on. So let's jump right into it. So in order to improve the educational experience for students, right, of classes 9 to 12, the Central Board of Secondary Education has released a new syllabus for 2025-2026 academic year, okay? And according to the most recent announcement by the CBSE, the schools are required to implement new subject frameworks, teaching strategies, as well as evaluation procedures that are meant to make learning more interesting and useful. Because at the end of the day, if it's not interesting, if it's not fascinating, it's not enjoyable, then people will get bored, right? And so it's important to make the syllabus, the curriculum, much more practical, much more application oriented, and much more skill oriented, so that students acquire the skills which are actually being used in the real job, right? And so class 10 students will have the option, okay, to take 2 board exams, okay, every year beginning with the 2025-2026 school year, okay? So 2 board examination can be taken, folks, and it's important for you to decide whether you want to take it or not. But one will be in February, okay, of 2026, and one in April. And within the same academic year, this program seeks to provide students another opportunity to raise their grade. So if you want to go ahead and raise the grade, that is also possible. So it is crucial to remember that this policy is still in the draft stage, okay? It's not really implemented, but it's going to be implemented, and that the final version has not been approved so far, and the 2026 exams will start on February 17, and the class 12 board examination will still be held once a year. Only class 10 board exam will be held twice, okay? And when it comes to revised grading system for classes 10 and 12, for class 10 and class 12 board examination, CBSE is switching to a 9-point scoring scheme, which means that 1 grade slot will be given to every 1/8 of the passed students. So exam scores will be more accurately translated into grades under this method, providing a more comprehensive evaluation of students' performance. This seeks to give more accurate representation of students' knowledge and abilities and replaces the old 5-point grading system. So now, instead of 5-point, it's 9-point grading system, and 1 grade slot will be given to every 1/8 of the passed students. Now, the next thing which I wanted to discuss is about the CBSE new syllabus 2025-2026 and the passing criteria for class 10 students, okay? So students must receive at least 33% of marks in each topic in order to pass the class 10 exam, right? And so if a student passes a skill-based or optional language course but fails a core subject like social science, science, or mathematics, or a language paper, then the failed subject might be replaced with the passed language or a skill for the purpose of calculating the outcome. So that is kind of the passing criteria right now. So if a student passes a skill-based subject but fails in mathematics, for instance, the grades from the skill-based subject will take the place of mathematics grade, okay? So you still have an option if you have both mathematics and a skill-based subject, and if you fail in mathematics, then the skill-based subject will take over and replace the mathematical subject score, and ultimately it will pass, right? And so what about the next one, which is introduction of a skill-based subject in class 10? We'll talk about it, okay? Now, by adding courses like computer applications, which is code 165, and information technology, the code is 402, and artificial intelligence 417 for class 10 students, CBSE is putting more of a focus on skill-based education right now because most of these subjects, computer applications, information technology, artificial intelligence, all are very important for the future, right? And now you don't even need a teacher to learn anything. You can just ask for a simpler explanation to ChatGPT or Grok 3 or Gemini or Copilot, and you are going to get the answer in a much better way, the explanation in a much better way than your school teacher. And so I would say making use of AI tools for your learning will definitely improve your overall knowledge, understanding, and you will be able to grasp the concepts in a much better way, because AI is much more knowledgeable than a human teacher. But if you want real life examples, even in that case, AI would be able to give you real life examples, practical examples, story-based learning, where AI will be able to make or design a game-based learning system where you can ask it to convert any content in your textbook into a story or a comic or a game, and now you'll be able to learn all the technical concepts like a game. So that is very easy to learn. Okay, now this technology has been improving tremendously because of natural language processing and artificial intelligence and large language models. And so I would say it's really important for you to take advantage of these opportunities, make use of the internet, make use of AI tools, and improve your knowledge and skill level. And the next one is new skills for class 12, okay? So the new skills which are added for class 12 are the language or land transportation associate, physical activity trainer, design thinking and innovation, electronics and hardware. These are some of the topics which they have added. The purpose of these additions is to equip students with practical skills relevant to multiple industries, okay? Like construction, transportation, electronics, hardware, and so on. And the use of calculators. Now let's talk about the use of calculators. I'm asking you a question. Is calculator useful or not? What do you think about it? Are you thinking the fact that calculator is going to destroy the human capability, human calculation capability, or is it going to be faster, efficient, and it is required for calculation? Ultimately, it's for calculation purposes. If the logic is wrong, if the calculation is done, anyway, the answer is going to come out wrong. If you want the right answer, the logic should be correct, all the steps should be correct, and then if you calculate, then the answer will be correct. So calculator is just for calculations, but it's not going to give you the logic or the step-by-step instruction to do something. You have to find out and solve the problem yourself, right? And so according to information from the CBSE conference, okay, the organization would allow the use of simple, non-programmable calculators for Class 12 accountancy board exams beginning in the 2025-2026 academic year in an attempt to help students manage complicated financial calculations. So this is for accountancy board examination. You can use calculator, but it's non-programmable, right? Then it can be used. It has to be a simple calculator. Now, when it comes to new teaching methods, which are adapted in 2025-2026, you really have to understand there are a lot of new methods which have been adopted, okay? So in its recent notification to the heads of all affiliated schools, CBSE states that the board is advocating for a change in the way children learn by encouraging inquiry-based and hands-on learning, okay? Now, schools need to implement through project-based learning. Students will tackle actual issues rather than only reading about them, okay? And the students will be encouraged to ask questions and investigate answers in an inquiry-driven learning environment rather than memorize information. So instead of memorization, you'll be asking questions and you'll be finding solutions yourself. And then tech-enabled learning, online platforms, digital material, and AI technologies will all play a larger role in classroom instruction. This is super important. Collaboration, collaborative learning, lesson planning, and teachers will adapt these approaches on the fly to accommodate students' changing demands. The objective is to shift the emphasis from memorization to comprehension, problem solving, and critical thinking. That is what CBSE is saying. And new assessment. Now let me talk about the new assessment. Well, CBSE is updating the way that students are evaluated. Exams will now concentrate more on actual comprehension, folks, and application of knowledge rather than only testing memory. So you can just memorize a bunch of content or textual information and then vomit it in the exam, but CBSE says, you know what, we don't want you to memorize it. Well, we are looking for actual comprehension and the knowledge, application of knowledge, right? And by giving learning greater purpose, this modification seeks to better prepare students for post-secondary education and professional professions. So schools will create tests that measure critical thinking. Okay, critical thinking is super important. And practical application of knowledge and analytical skills. How do you analyze the information and apply it? And conceptual clarity, whether your concepts are clear or not. All of this is measured. So evaluating the new syllabus is important to evaluate the new syllabus. The academic website of CBSE now has a comprehensive syllabus for classes 9 to 12, okay? And it's recommended that educators, parents, and students read these materials to become acquainted with the recent framework for assessment and curriculum. And these modifications demonstrate CBSE's dedication to develop a more thorough and skill-focused educational program that will better prepare students for their future academic and professional pursuits. So that's why CBSE has done these changes and has, completely changed the syllabus. If you want to go ahead and check out the new syllabus, link is given in the description below the video. You can go ahead and check it out. I hope you got some valuable information, useful information, which would help you decide what you have to do next, whether you wanted to use this knowledge which you have gained and apply it and think analytically, have clarity of the concepts and apply it in the form of projects, in the form of case studies, in the form of real world demonstrations, so that you are better prepared to face the future. Because the future is going to be yours. It's going to be dominated by artificial intelligence, and I hope that this message is clear to you. If you have any more questions, leave it down in the comment section. I'll be glad to help you out. Thank you so much for watching this video.